Hi all, Hal here with more space engineers. And today I was going to do something just a little bit as a quick outtake. Because it was pointed out that yes, I promised a tour of the ship and I didn't give one last time, so we're going to go ahead and do a walkthrough and hopefully be able to answer a couple of the questions that came up. First, we have to get started, so let's go. Okay, so people have been asking, what's up with the ship? What have you done with it? Okay, so here's what we've done. Now, if you remember before, the front end was a little bit bland. It's still kind of bland. We haven't done any coloration of any type and going on it. We will be doing that at some point. So if you have suggestions on color schemes, throw them down in the description below. And just as an effort to front load it, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe as well. Okay, so what have we done? Well, as you can tell on the exterior, we've buffed out the exterior a little bit, or buffed it up, I should say. We have put these walkways in with the idea that the ship is not going to be, I don't want to say a zero-G dock system. The idea is that we will have, wherever we set up a spaceport, we'll have the ability to at least walk most of the way out, if not all of the way out, and be able to walk directly on. Since we do have a gravity generator on the ship, it makes it a little bit easier to get some of this stuff going. We have gone ahead and added in the ion thrusters. As you can see, we've got 3 for lateral on both port and starboard side. We've got 6 for vertical ascent. We have 5 for descent. And then for pushers, horizontal acceleration, or planar acceleration, we've got 3 on each side of these. Well, technically, I think they are large. Yeah. So they're azimuth large thrusters. So we've got 6 of these things pushing once that one is done. We haven't really done a whole lot back here. As you can see, our little janky mining craft is still here. We've got a couple of extra oxygen generators here, large hydrogen thrusters, and then these regular hydrogen large ship thrusters. Engineering, and we will do a walkthrough in the interior of the ship. But as you can see, we've mirrored as far as the thrusters are concerned on both sides of the ship. So, and then again, you have another of the walkways. So, and then for braking thrust, we've got 2 of these angled thrusters. Now, these are large thruster equivalents, ion thrusters. So they do work really, really well. But anybody paying attention is we've got 6 pushing, 4 braking. So hopefully it's not been an issue thus far. And I'm thinking that we do have the room for them. We could put another one on either side here. It would take a little bit away from the view, but we might have to do that if it's necessary. The ship is handling much better though, so. Looking at the underbody, we've gone ahead and added some more armor. Like I said, we did change the profile a little bit. We left space in here for the small hydrogen thrusters to burn through. So hopefully it won't destroy the block in front. If it does, no big worries. It's fine. Our refineries, all 4 refineries, are now fully upgraded with yield modules. We do have a couple of assemblers in the floorboards between. Where were they? They are between here, I believe. I think they're in here, like in the middle. I don't remember now. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, they're over here. Now, are you guys are yield? Why are you yield? That should be assemblers in there, I thought. Let's see. Maintenance. I'll have to take this apart and take a look, because if those are oh, we may be having the wrong modules on those things, but we'll take a look at that. And then, as you can see, we do have the 4 large cargo pallets we've added the antenna, and then the exterior for our hangar. Now, I did not put a access point, any type of button or anything like that out here, because we have scripts running in order to depressurize the area before it opens this. And I don't want to have a situation where basically somebody can walk up to the ship and push a button and have it open. So, because if they happen to be in the faction, they don't need to go in that way anyway. So, alright. So coming in, entrance is still going to be the same. Go ahead and open this up. We can take our helmet off now, yay. And you know me, I'm always paranoid, so I close those doors. So we now have the med bay over here, which is where it's been. Let's go ahead and recharge a little bit. That way when you are out and about on your EVAs, you don't have to go far when you come in to get more oxygen. So trying to keep it as, you know, I don't want to say streamlined, but as efficient as possible. Again, this is the hallway heading aft. No real changes there, but we'll take you through it anyway. And then we have, I still haven't decided what we're going to do with this space. I don't know what I want to do with it. I guess it would be like a reception area. Basically, the idea was that because the hallways are so tight, you need an area for people to get around each other, and this would be one of the best places to do it. The idea over here is that you'd have, if you are expecting someone to be boarding, you could have your security team or your visitors or whatever, your officials standing here waiting to make sure the people are coming in are the ones that are supposed to be coming in. The bridge has not really changed. We still have the 2 passenger seats. We have one cockpit seat. We do have, well, I kind of teased these last time. So the ingot summary, I think you've seen before. I use it quite a bit. And I need to change, something's changed there. We'll need to change that so it's not scrolling. But we are using M-Master's LCDs too, automated LCDs too. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of things sitting here. Basically, it's, you know, we have our hydrogen tank to tell us how much hydrogen and oxygen we've got, what our O2 systems are, and which vents they are, and what their status is. If it says it's 100%, it means it is completely pressurized and completely full. If you have people walking around in there, you're going to see, depending on how many people you have, it's going to float somewhere between 99.7-ish up to 100, just depending on when the cycle hits it. And then we have our general ship statistics. It tells us how much ice we have on board, what our power levels are, and what our jump drive status is. Now, I actually had to jump away from the asteroid that we were at while I was there doing some of the decoration, which I'm going to get ready to show you. We got attacked by pirates. Well, we had pirates show up, and they started closing on our location. And when I took a look at them, they were pretty much making a beeline for us. So we jumped out at a random, we just did a random jump out. So what was that? Like 500K in the direction you're pointing or something like that. So anyway, you come up to the second level. This is the residential area. So we now have our armory. We have the actual gun storage, which I still need to go get the guns for. But the armory actually is a storage container. These, unfortunately, the suit lockers are not, they look like they are set up to be piped in, but I don't have, when you're placing them, there's no connector on them. So I don't know if these can actually be piped in or not. But they look good. We know we have the female character model as well as the male spacesuit character model. Oh, sorry, itchy nose. Oop. And then again, you know, just the small rifle area. Helps if I walk through the doorway correctly. And then what we have done here is, this is what we were originally calling the captain's quarters. Now it's just the crew's quarters. We have put in a Mr. Coffee, so you don't have to go far to get your coffee. Small place to sit here, and apparently our guys are a little messy. They left some stuff on here. We do have lockers. Now the lockers also act as a storage device, and because they are cargo, this one I again did not see a connector on, so I don't think you can pipe this in. But you can store some supplies here, and since we have the Mr. Coffee, which acts as a spawn point as well as a very limited med bay, when you respawn, if you have your gear, if you have extra gear in here, basically you can just grab it and go. Makes boarding operations much more difficult for people, because if you kill the player, they're going to respawn in here, and hopefully they'll have some weapons. So now we did put in the bunk beds. Somebody mentioned, there's at least one other person running around here, even if you don't see him on camera. So this way you can account for people being able to sleep in their own bed. Is it Gigi? I think is the name. Basically, they made a conveyor unit that's an air vent. So it takes up the full block, but it gives you an air vent on one side and it gives you connectors on all the others. So you end up with 5 connectors and an air block. And it does work to pass through. So if you look through here, you do get oxygen and hydrogen, everything back when you're in the bed. So worked out really well. And again, we have the skylight. Heading further aft, we now have a small break area. There's another table and chair here. I was going to put 2 in here, but when you turn off the light, if you notice, it gets really, really dark. Without that corner light here, you couldn't see the other table here. It was pitch black in that one tile. So, made it a little interesting. And then we went ahead and put another one of the conveyor air units in. We took the air vent out of the floor here and was able to reclaim that space, which allowed us to put in the kitchen system. Now, the kitchen system doesn't actually do anything. You can see it's not even an inventory. It does have an activity, and I'm wondering if this is another one of those, and yes, I turned it off because it was humming, but I'm wondering if this is one of those, it actually will work as a place to recharge like health or power or something like that, or if it's supposed to, and it just broke, because this is a really old mod, and I don't think it's been updated to the newest SDK, and Keen has actually said they're getting ready to release their next major update, which is going to break pretty much all of the scripts and stuff on the workshop already. So, yeah. But they've got a forum thread open to talk about how things can be updated for the mod community. So if you are one of the modders, I will put a link to that down in the description of this video so that you can get involved in that conversation immediately. Just if you're interested in upgrading your mods, or if you're wanting to get into modding, it'll give you an idea what you're going to be able to work with the new SDK and API systems. So shield generators and capacitors have now been built and are fully upgraded. And it sounds like the engine may actually be done now. Which brings us into the engineering bay. Yay, engineering bay. Okay. So the upper access really doesn't have anywhere else to go unless you jetpack out, which is fine. Like I said, it really is more just to get in there to work on the engines in case you need to repair reactors for some reason. Now, are those actually attached to things? Those are attached there. So I could put an air vent feed here. I might have to do a little bit of a re-engineering. Pardon me. Yeah, hiccups are bad today. So, I may have had to cut the audio there. And then, like I said, that basically brings us back to this area. Let's go ahead and throw our helmet on. That is already turned off. So, if we want to open this thing, what it will do when you flip the switch is it starts the timer for this. Basically, I have it set up for 30 seconds. When you flip the button, it closes both of those doors, regardless of if they're open or not. It'll try to close them. When it closes them, it starts this as a depressurization. It takes about 30 seconds for the entire system to run. Once everything is depressurized, we should get the doors opening here in a moment. There they go. And you now have access to space. Kind of disconcerting when you're standing there, isn't it? Alright. So, yeah, so basically that's what we have been working on off camera. In between, we've been dodging the pirates as we can. And right now we are looking for a new place to set up a base, because we want to have a starport set up that we can park this thing from time to time. Hey, look, everything's working properly. Isn't it awesome when things work right? It's the simple things in this game that just make it awesome. Anyway, so that's what we've been up to. Like I said, we're working on trying to find a new asteroid to call home. I want to set up a small base. Well, a small defensive port, I guess would be a better way of saying it. That way we can deal with the pirates a little bit easier. But for now, it is what it is. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this tour. If you did, make sure you throw a like down on it. If you would also be so kind as to share with your friends and family that you think might enjoy it as well. I'm going to get out of here. Hope you all have a fabulous day. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody.